Okay, good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? It's good to have everybody in for class. I hope everybody's ready. I hope we've had a good day. I hope we've had a very good class. I hope everybody has enjoyed their day, has gone through the processes. It's a Monday, so it's kind of, we all know how hectic Mondays can be. I'm sure most of you weren't expecting to see me here today. Surprise. Surprise. I decided to just come in for a quick for a quick chat with everybody. I know most of you guys didn't expect me to, like I said, I know most of you guys didn't expect me to be here today. You guys were expecting Mr. Sebastian. I'm filling in for him today. Sure, it's a surprise. Yeah, I'm filling in for him today. Most likely because I just couldn't get enough of you guys. So I was like, let me just come in and steal one of his classes just to keep teaching you guys and keep talking with you guys. But it's good. Like I said, I hope everybody is good. I hope everybody is ready. We've got quite a bit to cover today. We've got a bit to talk about. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, like I said, we've got quite a bit to get through today because we're talking about the mentorship sessions, and it's going to be very interactive. We're in the final month, right? I think we're in the final month of our course. This has been 12 weeks of non-stop learning. You guys have been an incredible bunch to teach, right? So I need to pass some information along so that everybody can get it. We're going to question and answer section so that everybody can get it. Yeah, so like I was saying, so this is going to be a bit of an info session because we're supposed to have our mentorship classes starting this month, covering towards the end of the last for the next about 4 weeks. We're going to be going like very in-depth with you guys so that we can cover um everything. This is week 9. Like I said, this is now our final one, our final 4 weeks. Like I said, we're in our final 4 weeks, and we've got a few things I need to inform everyone about. Seeing as this is our mentorship session, I'm going to give you guys a bit of information about everything that is going on during this period so that everybody can get a full understanding of what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be covering throughout the month, just to make sure that everybody is ready to follow along. Okay. Okay, so I think this is fine. Can everybody see me? Can everybody see me? I'm sure everybody can see and hear me now, right? Okay. Yes. So let's just get straight into it. The next 1 month is going to be our mentorship session. We're going to be all going very in-depth into everything that you're going to need to succeed. So this month we're going to be focusing on your project. So this whole month is going to be focused around making sure that everybody gets their project, has a portfolio put together, and make sure that everybody is positioned when they leave here with the tools to get a job, succeed in um, succeed in remote spaces, get a remote job, and just make sure that you have the experience to focus on everything you are doing. So let's touch on a few things that you guys are going to be learning. This week. So for this week, we're going to just make sure that everybody is getting a kind of strong introduction into what we're doing. We're going to be covering Medium and WordPress full in depth. I want to make sure that everybody has a WordPress website and their Medium accounts put up together. We're going to have a few your project and your portfolio is going to be put together on WordPress and Medium. You're going to create your own blogs. You're going to also taking the branding work that we all did. Those your last assignment, the branding assignment. You're going to have your everybody's totals is going to come in, so everybody's going to see their scores. Now, from your brand, the brand you came up with, you're going to also start looking into building into your niches, writing and exploring not just your niches, but also some topics that you are not very conversant with, because as a writer, you know that you are going to be faced with different sections of your writing platform, and you're going to be faced with different topics that might not be in your niche, but you'd want to most likely explore. So for the first week, like I said, we're going to create a Medium account. We're also going to work on a WordPress account, and everybody is going to start creating their own platforms. So you're going to start creating content. For your portfolio, we'd like at least 5 articles on both WordPress and Medium, but you can go way beyond that. But like I said, we're just trying to show you guys the best way. So like I said, we're going to create Medium accounts. We're going to create a WordPress account. You guys are going to start posting on those accounts. We're going to show you how to tie in SEO tools like Yoast and plugins like Yoast onto your WordPress account. We're going to show you the best ways to navigate all of these sites so that most people are reading your content. We're also going to show you how to leverage LinkedIn to find jobs, and we're also going to show you how to work on remote platforms like Upwork. I've seen a few of you guys on LinkedIn already constantly posting about what you've learned here. That's also very important, but we're also going to show you some secrets that come with working on LinkedIn and Upwork, especially Upwork. Like for those of us that don't know, Upwork is a platform to get remote jobs. It's a very good place for writers to get jobs. So I am Mr. Sebastian. I'm going to come in with tips to help you guys figure out the best ways to get jobs on Upwork, the best way to pitch, pricing. So the most important thing is that you guys are job ready. That's the most important thing that we're going to be discussing throughout this month, making sure that you guys are job ready and making sure that you guys are clued into all the tools that you need to succeed. So, like I said, I'm going to go through this with you guys all through, but like I said, I need to make sure that everybody has the information down so that they're ready. Like I said, to the branding assignment I gave you guys, your scores are going to come in this week. So everybody's going to see their scores. And the reason why I gave you that branding assignment was I wanted you guys to be able to figure out what you had a passion for. So when you figure out what you're passionate about, you're now going to be able to say, okay, this is where I want to put my niche in. I know I saw a lot of people that had fields in medical, pharmacy, pastries, fashion. There were some other sections I can't really remember now, but it was all just to make sure that everybody got to begin to dive within themselves to figure out what they liked the most. So if you were able to submit, that's fine. The fact that you try to attempt the assignment is good enough. That shows that you already have an interest. I wanted you guys to be able to build out not just your brand, but figure out what you were most interested in so that you can begin to start having ideas about what you want to write about. So aside from working on your niche in your content, there's going to be sections that are going to be devoted to parts of your course, parts of your writing that are not in your niche, not places that you're comfortable with, because we also want to test that you're able to do research about topics that you are not familiar with. Like I said, me and Mr. Sebastian are going to take you guys through all of it to make sure that you guys are ready for everything. And yeah, so before this, I'm going to show you guys my Medium account again, show you how to sign in, create an account. Then on Thursday, Mr. Sebastian is going to take you guys through the full range on WordPress and creating your accounts and getting yourself your own domain. So I'm going to take everyone through my Medium account, share my screen, make sure that everybody sees what is going on. And then I'm also going to show you guys how to work on Google Docs. That's also part of what's going to go on today. We're going to work on Google Docs just to check out how articles are structured and then move to posting something on Medium. I already have an article that I've worked on so that everyone can be sure to put out what is their best content, right? Okay. So let me start sharing my screen so that everybody can see and we can get an idea of how Medium works. Create an account. I'm going to go take you guys through the process of creating an account on Medium, and then we'll also go back and work on Google Docs to start putting content out. There's already I have some pre-written content that I would like you guys to see, and then from there we can kind of walk through the process of writing and creating content that you are familiar with. We're talking about content that you're familiar with, and then from content that you're not familiar with. That's the research process. So let's get started. Let me share my screen so that everybody can see how Medium works. I know I took you guys through Medium a little bit, but I want to just make sure that we all have an in-depth look at how Medium works. Okay, so Medium is a writer-friendly account that allows writers to post all of the content that they want to make sure that they have as much as they can be able to get. So let's start. Let me log out so that everybody can see and kind of start afresh from there. Okay, so the process to get started with Medium is you go to the main Medium site, then you can either pick maybe your Google, Facebook, or sign up with your email. I think so. Normally, we'd put in our email address. Let me set up. Let me show you guys how this process is kind of simple. But I also have an email address that I'm not using. From there, you'll be sent a link. Usually, the link will appear on your other email box. I'm just going to go from my phone so that we don't have to break communications from me going to another site. So what will usually happen is that the site will take you somewhere. So let me go through that process with you guys so that everybody can see it. So what would happen is like I said, you get an email that would appear. Where is my Yahoo mail? I hope everybody is following along. Yes, I'm taking you guys this week. I hope everybody is following along because I want to make sure that everybody gets the most. everybody's following around, just to make sure that I wanted to make sure that everybody's following around so you guys can get the whole process. I will share my screen soon. I just want to get through some sensitive things. I am coming. I'm just trying to get my inbox open. So, like I was saying, Medium is a very friendly account for writers that allows you to go through the whole writing process essentially. Create, write, post. It allows you to comment and interact with other writers as well. Other writers can see your posts and show appreciation for your work. So, like I said, I'm trying to open my email so that I can show you guys how. It seems my network as well is kind of slow, which is strange. But like I was saying, Medium is a great place to start as a writer because it's an environment that will allow you, you don't have to take it as serious. What you'll be able to do is that you'll be able to just post your content without feeling the pressures of people behind you. Take it as your safe space. That is what I'll call Medium. Your safe space where you can express yourself in a way that is totally free of all the other things that would come your way. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, so let me start sharing my screen again. Yes, I'm doing very well. So you get a mail when you've signed in and you go through this process, then you say sign in with email, then you put your email here. You'd get a mail that will come into your email address, then you would say continue to your Medium account. And you say create an account. And from there it will boot up. Okay, I have to even enter a new email address. Email address again because the login link expired. Probably something. Back to sign up. That's strange. Okay. And that email has been sent. Okay. So once it drops in, you get a login link. Sign into Medium. What's going on here? We have a slight issue because now the key keeps bouncing back. Let me try another account. So sometimes you could sign in using your Google. If you have a Google account, you can just do that. Sign in directly using your Google account. This is causing. Sorry, I don't know what's going on because it seems like the account is bouncing. It seems like my account is bouncing back, which is strange. It seems like my account keeps bouncing in and out. Okay, wait. I think I've been doing the wrong thing. Can you imagine? I've been doing the wrong thing. I've been saying sign in, instead of signing up, which is slightly embarrassing in its own self. So this is the thing. You're supposed to say join Medium and sign up with your email. Let me see if this email will still work. Okay, so a new link should come up.
Yeah, Wagwan.
Sign up.
Wagwan, blood.
This should take a new account.
Alpha.
Sorry for the break in transmission. There was something going on in my room and I needed to mute just so that that could pass. All right, so I was showing you guys Medium. So I've gone through the signing process and my account has been created, which we have seen, like you guys might have seen, like you missed it, but there wasn't much that was missed. It was kind of like just a quick. So let's go back. All right, so once you've clicked the link to sign into Medium on your email that comes in, you'll be taken into the main space. So the first thing you'll be met with when you're on Medium is that you first see a lot of people's accounts. They will have a lot of it's just a lot that comes through there. So you can go to your profile. This is still it's loading up so that we can update our profile, put a name. A lot of other things that are supposed to appear as well. While that is going on, let me open Google Docs so that everybody can see the next article we are going to be going through. All right, so usually there is a bunch of things that I have presets to write through. Let's go through some important things. So let's look at an article that I had done just as a rough draft for you guys to kind of get an idea of what it looks like to put an article together. So usually what will happen is that I try to do the pre-writing ahead of time so that everybody can just kind of go through the first bits of process with me. So as you can see, the first thing you will note through any of the articles that I've been writing is that there's a lot of lines, red, blue, some yellow. All of that is AI tools at work, just going through my article, making sure that it is of the highest quality. For now, it is not of the highest quality because, of course, there's a bit of work that I wanted all of us to go through so we can see the whole process at once. So the first thing I want everybody to see, let me make sure. Is everybody seeing what's going on? Is everybody seeing what is going on? Right? All right. So let's go back and see what is going on. Okay. So for the first section, there's a bit of, like I said, there's a bit of writing that's going on. And is there really a need to? There's not a real need. Like if you want, you can read through it and you can see some of the ideas that I was putting in place. But like I said, when you're writing, everything is about the ideas that you can put on the page. So for me, it was kind of just looking back at how this is a football article for those of us that are not quite certain where my head is at. So it's just kind of like looking at, as the title will insinuate, all good things must come to an end. So when you're writing on Google Docs, this is the easiest way to break up your article into pieces, right? So I've put it up as a title, and you can now see at the top here, it's titled it as all good things must come to an end. So whenever you are piecing articles together, it is always important to, like we said, break up the flow. So this is Grammarly now. Grammarly is also indicating that there's supposed to be a comma here. So this is how it looks when you are writing an article and the article is being checked by AI simultaneously. I remember explaining to you guys that some people don't find it easy to write simultaneously. They will want to first finish writing and then move back with AI. But I don't think that's like the best way to do it. For me personally, I like seeing the corrections in real time. So you'll notice that it will profile options here. It says this is unnecessary, so you can take it out. You can look, it can shorten it. So that is who moves to just who. There's a comma here. By the time you get used to it, you do get used to it. It will provide capitalizations. So this was just kind of me trying to put something out over the weekend so that you guys could just see how everything looks, so that you can have an idea of how it would look to write on Google Drive, right? But normally you all have, I'm sure everybody has access to Google Drive. That's a good question to ask at this point now. Does everybody have access to Google Drive? I'll also show you how to infuse AI while working. But does everybody have access to Google Drive? Is everybody used to Google Drive? That's a very good place to start. Does everybody have access to Google Drive? Let me see in the comment section. Yes, you have access to Google Drive. Yes, that means you know how to use Google Docs, right? Yes. Okay, that's good. That is good. That's very good. So my writers are showing themselves here. Yes. Okay. You don't use it. If you don't use Google Drive, now is a good time to use it, right? So everybody knows how I kind of got to my the Google Word document. Because I know there are a lot of people that use, okay, that's no. Okay, the nose is good that we have nose, so I can explain the process. You should use it. I suggest not even using Microsoft Word, because when you have Google Docs, it is a lot easier to have your contents saved, because anything can happen to your laptop. And the reason why I use Google Docs is because I can work, it allows me to work like through my cloud. So you don't have to slow down. You can work from your laptop. If your laptop dies, you can continue to work on your phone. That's the beauty of Google Docs. That's why I personally enjoy using Google Docs, because I don't have to I don't have to save anything on my phone. Google will initially give you 15 gig of storage. So you have 15 gig of storage to use. Like I said, it's up to you. You can use Microsoft Word, but I would suggest using Google Docs just because of cloud storage. So you don't have to store anything on your laptop. I remember my laptop crashed like 4 months back. Is it 4 months back? 4 months back, before I started teaching you guys. My laptop crashed. My hard drive went. Well, I wasn't really bothered. I was bothered about the movies, but I wasn't really bothered because all of my documents, my work, most of you went through, could have seen some of the folders that were saved there. All of those folders are neatly saved so that I can immediately pick up articles and start writing. So a Google Doc is stored on your Google Drive. So actually, this would be let's kind of just go through the whole Google Drive process. For those of us that know how to use it, it's going to be a quick way. But for those of us that don't know how to use it, it would be a very easy way for us to just quickly go through the process of opening up everything. Wow, you pay a monthly fee for your storage on Google Drive. Wow, actually, that means you've used up your space. You used up that 15 gig. Google Drive is not the same as Google Docs. Google Drive is the housing place where you can keep where Google Docs, Google Sheets, like Google just made Excel, Word, PowerPoint safely stored away on cloud storage, so that you don't have to save it on your laptop essentially. So I'm going to share my screen now. Before we go through the article, I'll first show you where to get Google Drive. Then we'll go through that process, show you how to navigate the Google Drive interface, and then I'll show you guys how to install extensions so that you can use them while writing. So you can use AI extensions while writing to kind of speed through the process for yourselves. All right, let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so we'll start fresh. Ignore all the other things on my folder, on my web space. When you're opening your browser, you open your Chrome browser. To access Google Drive the first time, you want to come up to your account over there on the top right corner. Once you do that, these dots over there. When you have your dots, what you do is you see this spot here, Drive. You click that and it will open the drive associated to your account, right? So let me give you guys a kind of overview. So when you open your drive, because my Google Docs has been structured for myself this way, there's a lot of things that I can already see that are open to me. But usually you won't have anything if you're opening your Google Docs, your Google Drive fresh. But let's go through some of the best place to start. So this is your home page. What is on your drive? This is where all the folders on your drive, anything on your drive, this is where they show up. So you can see there are audio files, there are written files, a lot of Google Docs. Again, how would I be a writer if I didn't have a lot of Google Docs on my platform, right? So then on computers, I don't have any automatic sync here. So I don't sync between computers because I feel that's a very unnecessary process. Then you have documents that are shared with you. These are documents that are shared with me. So let's go through the start section. So the start section has a bunch of things that are available to me. But let's go through the work folder. So on the work folder, you can have a bunch of things. There's a bunch of things here that you can navigate, right? I think it's best that when you're starting something, so on my work folder, there is different kinds of documents, folders, invites, but this is usually where I come to get anything that is work related done. I'd like to show you guys. So even my blog, The Fascinating Ramblings of a Football Fanatic, that was where I went to, has its own section. So once you open any folder, and to create a folder or to create anything, you right click on your mouse or your pad on your laptop and you can see it here. New folder, file upload, folder upload, Google Doc. So here, let us start with a Google Doc. It's a brand new document, right? So that's how you open a brand new document. I hope everybody is following along. Does everybody get it? Is everybody following? That's why I switched it off, just to make sure that everybody is following along, right? I want to make sure like I've not lost anybody. Google Files. I'm not sure of Google Files. I think it might be the same thing. I want to make sure everybody is following. If you're not following, where did I lose you? Because this is a kind of hands-on session, and these are how most of our sessions are going to be. It is all hands-on. I am practically showing you guys the practical aspects now. The writing will still be done by you, but the whole flow and the workflow is what I'm showing you guys now. I just need to make sure that everybody is following. If you're lost, now is the time to put up where I lost you. This can be done on your phone. The process is very similar to what you're using on your laptop. So if you understand the process, you kind of already know what you're doing. We open Google Docs app instead of going through that route. Yes, but can't we open Google Docs app? Yeah, you can open the Google Docs app, but yeah, from your phone. But Google Docs app only shows documents, Word documents that you've written. If you want to use the app to its fullest to get the most out of it, you are going to need to go through the Google Drive, because Google Drive will give you access to folders. And like I said, folders are very important because they allow you to organize your work, right? So let us go back to Google Docs. You can use Microsoft Word, like I said, but this is just my process that allows me to keep everything online. So if something were to happen to your laptop, like I said, you don't have to miss any of your files. It's cloud storage, right? Cloud storage is the safest option because anything happens to your laptop, you don't have any issues. Okay, so let's continue. Like I said, I hope I'm not losing everybody anyway. Okay, so this is the interface. So we've not written anything, but this is how the Google Docs interface works. You have your fonts. You can pick your fonts here, Times New Roman. You can pick your font size. You can bold, you can italics, you can underline. You can change the text color, you can highlight. For a writer, these are the easiest places. This is the one you need. You don't really need any other one. You can insert images, tables, but like I said, most of the time, what you are doing is writing, right? So all the other things are kind of unnecessary. So, like I said, let's go back to the article. And staying in the article we're using, we can kind of lift things from here. I'm sure everybody knows how to kind of copy and paste. So say Control A, I'll copy everything, and I'll come to this document and I'll just let me paste everything. So this is it, same article, just on another place. For those of us that are following, right? So, like I was saying, I wanted to show you guys how to break things up, but I also want to make sure that everybody gets the idea. So I'm going to turn off all the extensions so that I can show you guys how to install and then use extensions. So I'm just turning each one off. I have a few writing extensions on my profile. This is Quillbot. I have a few. Like I said, I make use of AI. Like I tell you guys, don't be afraid of AI. Make use of it. AI is your friend. And so all AI tools are off on my phone, on my laptop now. This is just a fresh write-up. So this is how it would look when you just settle down and just try to start writing. But so now let's go through the process of how to install extensions. And this is the thing why I say writing on your laptop is a lot more easier, because instead of writing on your phone that is very crammed, and I get chatting and sending messages on your phone is easy, but these tools now, a lot of them are not mobile friendly. They are mostly designed for computers and laptops. So let's go through Grammarly and see how to get Grammarly installed. So I want to make sure that everybody sees Grammarly. So me to install an extension, all I do is just search for it. When I search for it, it appears here. Pick it here. That's the easiest way to use. Like I said, I've taught you guys about a good number of AI tools that you can use. I've actually shown you guys a lot of AI tools. But like I said, this is the easiest way to go about it. Open Grammarly and it will open up. So before Grammarly opens up, let's go back to our article, right? So, like I said, this title is not quite SEO friendly because there's nothing specific I'm talking. This was just me trying to create something right off the top of my head. So you can just come here. This is what I was saying. Title. So let's cut some sections out. And let's see here. Dissecting a season. So you can come, this is here, and you can easily just come here and say heading 2. So I remember explaining to you guys that headings are the best way to break your content apart. When you're breaking your content, it's easy. It makes it easy for people that are reading and skimming. We should remember that a lot of people skim through an article before they read it. They can easily just say, hey, I want to just know what this article is about. So the best way to do it is just say, when, and then just come here, heading 2. So you see now it's beginning to look like a blog because I'm breaking it apart, and every section now is having points. Let's make this a heading 3. So the second heading is, what did City do to win? Tactics. Is that tactics? Yes, tactics. So click here. Again, highlights. Heading 3. So did you notice something? For the heading 3, it's slightly smaller than heading 2, and it looks like it's just underneath your heading 2, right? Heading 3 smaller than heading 2, and it is underneath it, if we were supposed to, maybe another one will make it more clear. Pay no attention to really what I'm writing is just more so that you guys can understand, and I can give you a brief skeleton of how everything looks like. So do you now see it? Just so that everybody can understand. Do you now? I think when you have like more headings underneath, it's easier to see. So it is underneath your heading 2. So I told you guys headings, as well as being able to break apart the work that you are doing and what you're writing to allow people to skim through it. Your headings also allow you to showcase your points. So like I said, heading 3 will allow you to buttress your points for heading 2. So I'm talking about what did this City do to win? I'm saying City's league winning tactics. What did Pep do? For those of us that are familiar with football, let's go back to Grammarly and see what Grammarly is saying. So this is now what network can cause, because now Grammarly is being very slow. Let me come back and make sure that everybody is following along. Is everybody following? So I have to, alternate and break in between just so that everybody can see what I'm saying. Yes, Pep Guardiola, for those of us that are following along. How can someone start to monetize blog content? Yes, so we'll get to that. Mr. Sebastian will get to that in the next class when we're talking about WordPress. And I know I broke down how to get monetized on Medium. I know you guys, I followed up with that. I talked about getting tips, joining their premium plan. But their premium plan, the reason we had issues with their premium plan, because Nigeria is not part of it. So the best way to do it is get tips and get people to tip your writing. What was the other one? I think there was one more. Can anybody remember the last one on how to monetize on Medium? Anybody remember the last one? Let's see who was following that day. Come on, quickly. Let me see who was following. Crowdfunding. There we go. Yeah, crowdfunding. You can ask people to crowdfund your account. You put a link and you crowdfund it, and you can ask for tips. So let's keep going. It's good, you guys. The partners program, but the partners program, I don't think Nigeria is part of their partners program. That was the thing. Tips like coffee tip. Yes, good. Crowdfunding. Those are the two major ways: crowdfunding and coffee tips. Right? Okay, so you guys have proven that you are listening, and you're listening very well, which is very important anyway. So, like I said, did anybody understand what I was doing with breaking my article apart? Heading 1, title. Your title and your heading 1 are kind of the same thing. So heading 2s, heading 3s. Did it make any sense? Did that part make any sense to you guys? I have to make sure that your answers come in. Yes. Yes, heading breaks apart what you're writing. It breaks it into sections and into paragraphs. Yeah. Yes, okay, that's good. It's good that you guys are following along. It's important that everybody is following. Kind of confusing in the font changing. Yeah, so when you change a heading, your fonts will change, right? I think that's it's kind of obvious. Not kind of obvious, but it's something that happens. The font will change because you are now making it a heading. Like when we're in secondary school, they will make the heading bigger so that everybody can know that this is the topic we are talking about today in class, right? At what point can you break your heading? That question, you need to rephrase that question. You're a writer, make your point very clear, because I understand what you're saying, but write it in a way that everybody understands. Yeah, Tai, write it in a way so that everybody can understand. Why did I use both heading 2 to give some, is it to give some parts prominence? No. The reason I used heading 2 is because that's like the general structure that we all use. Heading 2 is what every writer will use when they're trying to highlight that this is the section we are talking about. So let's go back to the at the top of the article, right? The things that the title is said, the title is all good things must come to an end. So I'm talking about the season that just passed, right? And for my first heading is like dissecting a season, right? So what I'm doing now is trying to dissect the season as a whole. What are the points I'm going to be talking about under the season? So this is for last season. And for last season, Man City won the league. So I'm now like, what did Man City do to win the league? When you're breaking your article, when you're breaking an article by headings, you're using it as a way to make sure that the flow works, right? So that when somebody is reading it, they can understand that this point leads to the next point, and then this heading explains what is in that section, that paragraph. So this. Then we talk. You see that after that, I went straight into tactics, right? So I can give this space here. Bear no mind to the headings anyway. Just understand why they are there. Another thing here, something I should have pointed out. This is how you name your topic. Usually, just naming this is just to name the article, right? So what I mostly do is that I'll name the Google Doc the same name as like what my title is. So the same title was here, was what was here. I can show you guys again. So it's untitled, and I just pop here, and it takes what was here and puts it up there. Okay, so like I was saying, the idea for breaking your articles apart is for flow, skimmability. I know I've explained this thing again, but since we're going through this, right? For skimmability, so that someone can skim through your article and know what is inside before they read it. We all do it. So it's something that we're supposed to do. Like if there weren't any headings in this thing, you won't read it. You might see the title, you might be interested by the title, but you won't read it because you'll be like, I don't even understand all the things the person wants to talk about. How will I just be reading through something, right? So this is why I've broken it to parts. So we can say here, why did who fall away? So this is another part here. And now, so the reason why this isn't a heading 3 is because now this is a totally different point from what did City do to win the league, as it is why did Liverpool fall away? And then I can come here. Maybe this is just 1 point. See? So how did Arsenal miss out on the league? So you can take it through and looking at the points, and then I can just say final thoughts. So this is usually how I structure my articles anyway. There will be a bunch of headings, and then usually my final thoughts will be at the end, and you can just look at it like this. So this is something I wanted to show you guys. So this section here is the call to action. So I've gone through blah, 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 and then I say, thank you so much for reading this. Please make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe. This was the call to actions we talked about last week, and do make sure to keep it locked right here. Finish. So we've gone through the whole process of writing an article. We haven't written it, but we've gone through the process. We've shown how to put headings, and this section kind of shows everything that you've written, allows you to quickly jump from one point to the other, see it. So doesn't this look kind of more presentable, at least from a skimming standpoint? When you just want to skim through, what is this person talking about? You can know. And sometimes what will happen is in the process of skimming through, they'll be like, oh, okay, then they might just stop and read. And then they could look again, stop, and just keep reading. And then before you know it, they scroll through and they've actually finished reading the whole article. Can anybody, and I'm asking this question now because I'm about to clear like off my share screen. So I want to make sure that everybody is seeing my screen. So could everybody see my screen? Aha. This is so strange. Okay. So I was not sharing my screen actually. I don't know why it stopped. Let me go back to sharing the entire screen. We are back. All right. So I have to now ask where you guys missed it so that everybody can understand where I am coming from. So I'm going to stop sharing and then kind of ask you guys where you saw it. So where did I stop? Where did you guys stop seeing my screen? Just tell me where you stopped seeing it, and then we can go back and I can explain where I was. So where did I stop? Where did it cease? That was actually the question. So where did it cease? We've already hit 8 o'clock anyway. So let's say 8:05. We'll go on a quick break so that everybody can take attendance, and then we'll come back. So where did you miss it? Where did I just lose everybody on my screen? From the beginning. Okay. We'll go back and we'll go through it again just to make sure. Grammarly is not even popping up, which is sad anyway. But let's use one. If you see one, you see them all. Let me come back. So that means I'm just going to have to quickly changing of heading from heading 3. What did Pep do? Okay. All right, no problem. Let me share my screen again so that everybody can see, and I'll just break it down for everybody again. Okay, let's go back. So I think we can all understand. Let's just look at it. So from just looking at it, we can understand what it kind of means when you're breaking your article apart, right? So just for skimmability, when you're skimming through, you can see it, right? It makes it easier to read because I can just kind of get an idea of what the person is talking about without necessarily having to read it. But I say the beauty of skimming, to be honest, is that most of the time when somebody is skimming, they'll be like, okay, let me just skim through him, and then they'll see something that catches their interest. Then they'll go back and look at what it is. They will go through it, and they'll be like, okay, I like what I'm seeing. And then half of the time they'll just stop skimming and then just start reading from where they jumped into. Then sometimes they can quickly skim through again, then they'll see what they liked again, and then they'll just be like, okay, so let's come through, let's see, and then that's it. So this is generally, like I said, this is generally how I would write an article. There will be several headings. Usually there will be the title, your heading 2, your heading 3, but usually there's a lot of heading 2s because most of my points, they are disparate points, they are scattered points, so I'll use them to explain one point to the other. But I wanted to show you guys my call to action. So for my blog, the call to action is kind of similar all the time. It is, thank you so much for reading this. Please make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and do make sure to keep it locked right here on the Fascinating Ramblings of a Football Fanatic. That's it. That's my call to action. So just to make sure. So this is a social call to action. This interacting. I want you to like, comment, share, interact with it. So I think I've done a quick enough explanation to show everybody how this works. Now I want to show you guys, after the break, I'll show you guys how to use how we load in the extensions on your browser so that you can infuse AI into your writing so that it can show you where the mistakes are and where the mistakes aren't. We're going to go on a break we're going to go on a break in 2 minutes. We're going to go on a break in 2 minutes just so that everybody can readjust. We'll take attendance and then we'll move on. Right? So we'll go on a break in 2 minutes. About at 8:03. So I can answer questions again here because this is an interactive session. So I want to make sure that questions can be answered back and forth, right? So I'll answer one question and then we'll go on a break at 8:03. So whose question is coming up quickly? Mhm. Quick question before we go on a break. The quiz didn't load from my things. Okay, come on. If we don't have any questions, then we'll just go on a quick break and then I will show you guys how to load extensions so that you can use AI while you're writing. Use AI. Don't be afraid of AI. For WordPress, like you guys will get WordPress on Thursday. Right now, we are talking about Medium. Actually, I'm talking about Google Docs. From Google Docs, we'll move back to Medium and then we'll call it a day. That doesn't count as a question. Naomi, that does not count as a question. So I'm not going to answer that question, Naomi. Well, is Medium telling me to? So since you guys' questions have come late, we will just answer the questions after we go on a break. So I think this is a good time. We can go on a break. Everybody will come and answer. We'll go on a break now, sign attendance, and then we'll come back and we'll start again. And we should be back. I think we are back. Yes, we are back. Back in action. All right. So you guys are taking attendance. Let's get the questions out now. Important questions before we move to integrating AI, because integrating AI is very, 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 very important. So let's jump to it. Give me your questions before we move to integrating AI. Give me your questions, give me your questions, give me your questions. And if you guys don't have any questions, then I'll just assume that I'm teaching geniuses, which is very good because teaching geniuses is fun. They already know the answers. Well, I need questions to make sure that I know everybody is following and I can know where I lost somebody, and then I can pick somebody and carry them back to the realms of knowledge. Can we have as many headings as we can? No, you cannot have as many headings as you want. It's kind of more, can you have as many headings as you want? No, you can't have as many headings as you want. You can have a good number, but it depends on how many words you're writing. If you're writing 10,000 words, then you're going to have as many as maybe 50, 50 words at a time, 50 headers, because you've written 10,000 words, so you're going to have a lot. As for Google Keyword Planner, we'll go through that throughout the week. But now we're talking about writing in general, the process of writing. You have the knowledge, now we're showing you where to put it, how to put it, and where best to put it. Heading meanings. Just think of headings the way they use them in school. Headings explain it, headings make a point known, right? Not make a point known. Headings explain headings give a short, brief explanation of to what you are talking about, right? So how can an article be segmented? We'll talk about that. Headings. So your headings, just when you understand what a heading is, does everybody understand what a heading is? Now, not in a writing sense, in a general sense, what a heading is. Whenever you're writing about something, there's a heading. After your title, you write a bit, your introduction, then you have a heading. Everybody knows what a heading is. When we're doing social studies or politics or whatever we're writing about in school, there was a heading. And the heading's purpose was to tell us what this section is about, right? So that's the general idea of what a heading is. A heading is designed to tell us what this section is about. Then from there, you can say, we're now breaking your headings. The most headings you use is heading 2 and 3. Heading 1 is kind of like just your title. So there's no real point using heading 1 once you have where to put your title. But for your heading 3, for your heading 2, heading 2 is like the topic under the title. Heading 3 is the subtopic. That's the best way to put it. We have the topic, we have our title. So in any textbook you open, the textbook will have the title of what you guys are studying. So if it was in mathematics, we'll say we're studying vectors, and vectors will be the title. Then there'd be a subtopic under vectors, right? There'd be polynomial vectors, and that's a subtopic. So that's your heading 2. Vectors is the title. Heading 2 is your subtopic under vectors. So we say polynomial vectors. And then under polynomial vectors, you can have your heading 3. And your heading 3 will talk about the different kinds of polynomial vectors. So we've talked about one polynomial vector, then we'll talk about the third, your different kinds of polynomial vectors. So the different kinds of polynomial vectors are still under polynomial vectors, right? Is everybody following? Title, topic, subtopic. But your subtopic only buttresses your points or explains something else under your heading. No, heading 3 is not like bullet points. If you notice, let me quickly share let me not share my screen first. Let me just explain. Then we'll look at it. title, heading, subheading, title, heading 2, heading 3. Heading 3 is your subheading. Follow it the way we used to do it in school. The way you do it in school is the best way you put it out, right? So let's use social studies again. And then you need to download Google Docs. If you're using your phone and you have Google Drive, then you need to download Google Docs. This thing that, because it's saying that you need to download Google Docs, that means you're using your phone. So you're going to have to install Google Docs as well. Right. So let's continue with our headings. Does everybody kind of finally understand what we mean with headings? Does everybody kind of understand what I mean with headings? Is everybody following along? Because when I share my screen, I'm going to, kind of just show you what everything looks like again. Good. That's good. So let me share my screen so that everybody can see what I'm talking about. This is the practical section, so you can see it. You need to be able to see it. Okay, so this is our title. Look at it here. Up here, it says title. Here, title. Here, heading 2. So if we're doing social studies now, we're talking about types. We say the 3 branches of government. If we're talking about the 3 branches of government, that would be, let's use that as our topic. That's our heading 2. So your subtopics for your heading 3 would be the 3 branches of government themselves. We have the legislative, the judiciary, and the executive. So let me, for a very practical example, because again, we are all learning, right? Let me put this here. So 3 branches of government is going to be our heading 2. Apply, right? So we can say the blah 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 blah. I don't really have the time to type it, but you guys can understand here the 3 branches of whatever, right? So let's now skip here. So we know the 3 branches. We know it's the executive. So the executive now comes under. So do we see it here? So we can now say underneath the executive, that's the president. Let's just put the president. Now this kind of will be a very good way for everybody to kind of understand. Let's leave football now. Just use social studies. That was how we all learned very quickly. Whose favorite topic? Whose favorite subject was social studies? Mine was not social studies anyway. But that's discussion for another day. Legislative. So does everybody quite understand what is now going on? We have the 3 branches of government, and if we're supposed to say, okay, what would be the title of this thing? We'd say government of the people. No, democratic governments. Because if you're having an autocratic government, you wouldn't have the 3 branches. They'd just be the executive branch in charge. I want to go and say democratic government. So this would be our title. This is the best way that anybody can understand this one now. Let's just keep with social studies. Democratic government is the title. The 3 branches of government is the first topic. Then our subheading is the executive, the legislative, and that's the House of, let me lay down one there, Reps and Senate. Then we'd have the final part, judiciary. Heading 3. So the judiciary would be let's just say judges, because I can't remember. Court of Appeals. That one is another one. So I think with this one now, everybody can kind of understand what we're talking about, right? I hope I've not confused everybody, but this should be a very good way to explain. Let's leave the football. Maybe football was a bit confusing, but this now is a good way to explain headings and how you use them to break up your article. So if somebody was just glancing through my article, they would say, okay, they're talking about democratic government, they're talking about the 3 branches of government, and then bam, you're on to the next one. So now I can now see if everybody understands. Please, nobody should be blind though. Please, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. But does everybody now kind of fully understand what we're talking about now? Yes, I've stopped sharing my screen because I want to know everybody's. Is it not just now I stopped sharing my screen? Branch, not arm. Is it not arm or branch? Whichever one it is. I can see the social studies students now coming out for me. Whichever one it is. Everybody is following now. I can see the yes. I stopped sharing my screen just to know if everybody is following. If you're not understanding now, maybe you and your social studies teacher had problem back then. That's why. If you're not seeing my screen, it's intentional now. I want everybody to see my face when I'm asking if we all got it. Yes, arms of government. It's not branches, it's arms of government. Branches, all of them, if you put them on a tree, they all stretch out, fine. You people wait. But everybody now gets what I'm talking about. And you only shared your screen for like 2 minutes. Okay, that might be network. That might be network. I will share my screen again, but I'm not going to explain because you guys heard my explanation. So you just see it. You will just see it. I will share my screen again. If it wasn't showing, it might be network. But you heard the explanation. Let's go to the tab. Does everybody see? Now, I can't see what you guys are saying, but hopefully everybody can see what I mean. Democratic government, the 3 branches of government, the executive, the legislative, the judiciary. I said this class was going to be short, but lo and behold, we've almost done our full slated time. Can you imagine that? But I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but I want everybody to see. And I hope everybody can see now what I'm talking about with branches. And I'm not going to change it to arms of government. It's branches, and we're going to stick with branches. This is not a social studies class. This is a copy and content writing class. And we are understanding the writing process so that when we finally put everything together, everybody will understand. And I need to move quickly now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. I hope everybody understood. Good. Everybody understands. And if you can't see my screen, I don't know what the issue is. I really don't know. But we have to move on because we have 2 more things to cover and then we can call it a day. Okay, let's move to AI plugins, which is a very important part. Very, very important part. If you don't understand headings, you can even leave headings. When we're doing question and answer, we'll go back to headings. But let's move on so that we can get the full gist of this. So I'm going to share my screen again. And we're going to talk about, let's use no, not LinkedIn. Ooh, open LinkedIn. That was my mistake anyway. Let's use Linquix. Actually, I can't even spell it. What's the spelling again? Let's use Quillbot. Quillbot is a very easy one. Quillbot.com. Just go straight to quillbot.com. This is how Quillbot looks. And for simplicity's sake, I am not using the premium account so that everybody can see what it is, but I have signed in. Signing in is very simple. I will even log out and sign in so that everybody can see. So this is how it looks when we're not signed in. And signing in is very simple because on Google, once you are signed, you have your Google account. Signing in is very simple. But once I sign in, I'm going to show you guys the extensions. Extensions are the parts that you need to know. So log in, sign up. I'm just going to use my Google account just to quickly sign in. It's not going to take more than a few seconds. It's going to ask which accounts, my main accounts. Use Google whenever you're signing into things like this. It is a lot more simple. It's very easy. Okay, so I've signed in. Now let's just go straight to extensions for Chrome because it's Chrome we're using. It will take you up here. I'm going to remove it from my Chrome so that I can show you how to add it. Remove. Don't worry about it. So Quillbot has been removed from my extension. And this is the process for everything. Grammarly is doing whatever it feels like doing right now. So, but Quillbot, the process, once you Google what it is, you open the website, you can even search for, actually, why didn't I just do that actually? Grammarly Chrome extension. Search it. Grammarly for Chrome. Just go to the Chrome web store here. It's already added to my Chrome. So to save yourself the hassle of opening a website, just search for the Chrome extension. What did we search? We just searched Grammarly Chrome extension. Open Grammarly Chrome extension. Because again, this is because I'm using Chrome and I'm just using Google Docs because it is a very simple process and having to install it on my laptop directly. Straight. I will come and answer your questions. I'm going to remove it and add it back. Remove. Whenever you remove something, they ask you why did you remove. It's not necessary now. But this is Grammarly and this is Quillbot. How do I add? I just simply click on add to Chrome. Add extension. It will install here. Download. Once it finishes downloading, it's in. It's a very simple tool. Add to Chrome. Add the extension. Downloading. It's not a hard process, but I'll now, when I engage it, I will show you why it is so useful. Wow, that was 37 megabytes. That's actually larger than I expected. Okay, so this section here is for where your extensions are. And as you can see, this is where Grammarly is. I can open Quillbot. Since you're on a web page where extensions. Let's come to our Google Doc. We're on our Google Doc now. Open your extension. I have a lot of extensions. Pay no attention to some of them. They are for other things. But this is Grammarly. Off because it was not working immediately. And when you turn it on, is it resetting my? It has done that thing again. I'm coming. Let me manage my extensions. It's kind of the process it goes through. So everything is kind of off on. What tool I used to use what tool before? Can you imagine? Aha. Off on. Like I said, I didn't really do a lot. All I did was just open my extensions and scroll down to manage my extensions. Like I said, I have a lot. Not all of them are for writing, but here. So the ones that are on should be on and working. Let's close some tabs. I personally don't like a lot of tabs open. Let me refresh. They should come up after I refresh. Aha, Grammarly has come up. So what they do is they just start checking your work. Immediately they start highlighting something that is wrong. You can open this extension here and it starts to show you this is how Grammarly works. But just keep it this way. So Grammarly will tell you what is wrong. Let me sign into Quillbot because it kind of signed me out when I closed it. See, it has clicked, knows who it is. If we go back, Quillbot has come up. So these are the ones you need to use. You really don't need more than these two to start. So let's look at an example, right? I left mistakes on purpose so that we can just see how these mistakes work. After this, we'll now come and answer your questions, then we'll move to Medium and we'll call it a day. Or actually, before we do this, let me come and answer anybody's questions that they might have, because this is also important. I hope I've not lost everybody. I hope I've not lost anybody. Quillbots. We talked about Quillbots. Beginning of like this our class. There are writing tools that are AI embedded writing tools. There are AI tools that help you improve your writing, so they make your writing better. Is there any other tool we can add as Chrome extensions that you have shown us? There's no other. Don't think about all the other tools, especially for writing. The rest of them will just clutter up your workspace. And for you that is starting self, I will say don't use Quillbot. Use Grammarly first. Then you can start adding as you like, because they'll clutter up your workspace, and if you're just starting to write, it will confuse you. Where did I lose you? I will find you in the question and answer section, but I'm answering questions now. So ask the question, let me answer it now. Just can you help us list out all the extensions you're using? I'm only using two. All the other extensions that you saw were for a bunch of other things that were very unnecessary. But because I'm letting you into my internet space, I can't really hide all of them. The most important one is Grammarly. Start with Grammarly. We went through AI tools like beginning of our course. I know it has been quite a while. So yeah. So can we use both Quillbot and Grammarly? Yes, you can, but use Grammarly first. It clutters up your workspace. Like I was saying, like look at all these yellow, gold, red, and everything. For somebody that is not used to seeing this, when you start writing and you're seeing it pop up almost every time, because it will find a mistake in almost everything, it can be confusing, it can be stressful, it can be overloading. So start with Grammarly first. Let me turn off some of them. Let me turn off Quillbot. So Quillbot is right here. If I turn it off, it will disappear. Do we see that some red has gone? It's not as clustered as it looked. And if I turn off Grammarly, it will refresh. And now it's almost a clean slate. I don't think there's anything else working in the background. See? Clear. The more you turn on, the more distractions that come. And if you're not used to it, it can be quite overloading going through this process. Saying, wait, my screen, I'm not even sharing my screen. Can you imagine? Sorry. It's my fault. It's me that did not even share it. I think whenever it refreshes the screen. But let's quickly. So this is what it looks like with just Grammarly. And if I add another extension, let's say Quillbot, I turn Quillbot on. See how it looks now. See how it kind of has now started making everything look very clustered. So this is what I'm trying to avoid. It's looking very clustered because this can be, for a first time writer that is new to this, even me when I started, it became a lot to deal with. But over time, you get used to it. You get used to the changes it's talking about. So now let's just go through some of the corrections it's making. Like, look at this. It says put a comma here. I'm sure this is another comma. See the way it's highlighting a lot of things. If you're not used to seeing this, it can be stressful. Another comma here. There's supposed to be reduction of space. This is a comma. Here, see, branches of whatever are this house, court of appeal. It is capitalizing. What it's doing is running through my work and is showing me what is wrong with it. Usually, it now depends on you. I might not want to make all the changes. Like, look at this one. This is a very good example. It can't fully understand what I mean by city, so it's saying the city. But anybody that watches football knows that what I'm talking about is for Manchester City. But it's a shorthand. We just say city. So see this one, Man City. We're saying Manchester. I don't have to put that. It depends on you. So your command of your understanding of English will tell you where the AI might just be making a mistake, where you know better. And then there are sometimes you don't have to. You see? So all of these things I use this as I'm writing. As I'm writing, it is on because I don't like the whole back and forth process. I just like to address the issue at once. I know some people that they will write finish first and then they will kind of go through it with Grammarly and just go through the whole work. That is not how I work. But that's a difference. That's just difference, right? So look at this. Mistakes, no wrong foot here, a misplaced past. It's kind of just showing what is wrong, what needs to be where. But it's always based on your understanding. If you don't fully understand the uses of these things and where they are supposed to be, you can just mess up everything because you just say, okay, accept everything when you don't need to accept everything, right? But the simple ones will tell you where commas are, full stops, simple ones, but they get complicated, but you have to kind of know when to use it. So I think we've covered that. Let me see what everybody's thinking. Okay. Does everybody kind of understand what I'm talking about? And if we couldn't see the screen, I don't really know again because I know when I oft sharing the screen, it's kind of doing whatever it feels like doing. Let's know who was seen and who was not seen. Was everybody seen or was everybody not seen? What does the yellow color mean? The yellow color is like, it's not completely wrong, but it's also a premium suggestion. So it will give you suggestions, but it's kind of premium. So that's hidden behind what is premium and what is not. Did everybody see it? Yes, yes. Because we're already getting to the end of our class, which I said was going to be short, but look at us. We've almost met to 9. All right. So if everybody understands how I'm using basic or premium grammar, I'm using basic Grammarly just so that you guys can understand the basic. If I start using premium and you guys are seeing premium suggestions, but then when you're using basic by yourself, you are not seeing the premium suggestions, you'll be like, there's a mismatch, right? So I'm only showing you just with basic. Show us how to add the extension. I won't show, but I would just no, you can't add extensions to WPS. You can download Grammarly on your phone normally, and then like you can use Grammarly on your phone now. it will work. It's a whole process. To add extensions, just search for the extension. Yes, it applies to your Google Docs. So there is a lot of intuition that they make the apps intuitive so that you don't have to kind of specify things. If you download the Chrome extension for Grammarly or Quillbot, it will just know that it's Google Chrome you're looking at. So how do you add? Let me answer this question, then we move to Medium and we call it a day because this has actually been quite a lot. So to add an extension, and I don't think you can add extensions on your phone. That's kind of like very extra. And this is not a phone class. I would suggest going to YouTube, watching a YouTube video on how to apply it on your phone so that you can work from your phone. But like I said, it's a laptop I'm using, and it's a laptop that is kind of the best way to write. I will not lie to you. Okay, so for extensions, I will share my screen one more time and then I'll show you how to log in. How do we log in when we click on the Grammarly Chrome extension? Because it's not showing here. Okay, let me share my screen again and then we'll go through this thing again. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Let's just quickly move. So, like I said, to add an extension, just search for it. Grammarly Chrome extension. Search. Go to the Chrome Web Store. Open it here. It's already added, so no real point adding it. Once you add to Chrome, it goes through, but I think somebody had an issue with signing in, so I'm going to remove it, fix it later. Add to Chrome. Add extension. Take a bit of time to install. Okay, so it has been installed and added to my extensions. Lots of pop-ups, lots of unnecessary ones, right? So Grammarly is gone. Only Quill is showing up here. So come up here, this thing that looks like a puzzle piece, press it, it will show you extension. See Grammarly here. Open Grammarly. It's on, but it's not quite on. So if I refresh, so let's turn Grammarly back on. Refresh, and it should be up and running right there. So if you're having issues with signing into Grammarly, you need to go to the Grammarly site. But I know their site is kind of acting up. I think you can press settings here. Settings. Oh, okay, yes. So this is a good one that you can check. See, I've been using Grammarly since June 2021. Just a bit of info for all of us there. So I went into all settings, and all settings took me to the account. Then you can sign in from there. And here, my password, my email, everything, linked accounts. So then you can kind of use the profile, use the settings, login, security, all of that, profile, and sign out your account, right? So I think everybody should kind of understand this section now. To fully understand all of these things, like you have to play around with it. I need to try something else, kind of infusion. Okay, so I think we've made a lot of progress, right? So let's just go to the final section so that we can call it a night because it has been quite a night. Medium. I think I showed you guys all how to create a Medium account. I'm not going to really edit the profile now. That's kind of extra. So now this is the main reason why I brought everybody here for Medium. So Let's clear this out. So look at this part here. There's somewhere that it says title. Just pick your title. This is why I write on grammar. I write on Chrome, on Google Docs, because everybody uses the Google Doc format. So what's your title? Title has been added, and then I can just select almost everything. Let's just select everything, copy and paste, and see how it has essentially switched everything the way it needs to be. Only difference is I think the heading 3 could be different. It has only identified that this is a heading. So I think, yeah, that's it. So this is your heading 3 now. It applies everything as a heading because it can't really figure out the difference, but you can see. Because I think, does everybody get this now? And that's it. That's how simple it is to use Medium, especially on the writing section. They want you to write, so they tell you, oh wow, I've not been sharing my screen. Can you imagine? I've done it again. Let's go back. All right, let's go back. Let's go quickly. Let me clear out everything so that this doesn't kind of lose its essence. Fresh new page. I want to even kind of leave and open a new one. So everybody can see my screen now. Let me even go to the home page, right? Let's go back to the Medium home page. So I know everybody can see it now. This is the interface, right? You can see other people's articles. You can come here, right? Look at this section. It says title. Come up to. So let's use the what we wrote, right? Assuming we've gone through all the AI tools, they said everything is fine. Come here. All good things must come to an end. Pick it. Come to your Medium page. See this thing that says title? Slot in your title. Like magic. Everything is already arranged for you. So this was why I was saying this is why I like using Google Docs, because everybody is adopting the same format. And it's a lot simpler, especially when you're posting things online. You don't have to go from one app to the other. You're just going from one tab to another. So then I just copy. So now I just copy everything. And I'll explain. So this is everything. Control C, I've copied, Control V, paste. Did you guys see what I was talking about? Look at this. Final thoughts here at the end. Final thoughts. The same thing. So it immediately will just help you add what you've already thought about adding. The only difference is your heading 3s don't come along. But once you remember what your headings were, you can easily just say smaller heading, heading 3, smaller. And under the 3 branches of government, we have everything slotted nicely, right? I can even change this because I know this was supposed to be a smaller heading underneath. A smaller heading underneath. And that's it. Now, the final bit you need when you're putting up an article is adding images. Once you can add images, you're completely done. The process is kind of done, to be honest. So when you want to add images, you can just press enter to skip a line, press here. So add an image. You can add a video. You can add an embedded link. That is like a social media link. You can add a new code block. These are all extra unnecessary ones, but this is the one you want. just add an image. So we'll take an image from my, do I even have any pictures here? Kind of, though I'm not even sure I have any pictures. I have some screenshots though. So I'll just add like one random screenshot, right? Not found 404. So this is a random screenshot, but it's just for a good example to show you what an image is. So if you remember, we talked about things like alt text. So alternative text, this gives a brief description of the image for visually impaired. Remember? So I can just put blah, blah, blah. There's no real point, but you get what I'm talking about. So for the visually impaired, they will explain the image on the screen. After that, you have an article. You can embed images. You can put images as much as you like. You can, okay, so let me show everybody again how to embed a link. Control K, it will tell you to paste or type the link, and that's it. See? So I'm going to publish this because why not? The internet is full of weird things. So I can show you how to publish. So it will tell you add a topic. So what are we talking about? We are talking about football, and they will appear. Football, you can say football analytics. We can even say football manager. So topics, it has given the title, there's the notes, and this is the image you used. So the image will appear as like your preview image usually, but you can change the image you want. You can change your preview image. For me, I'm just going to keep this, and then I'll publish. And it's saying publishing story, bam. So it's a 4-minute read. And then you can post on Facebook, you can post on X, you can post on LinkedIn, you can copy the link, go to your social media and post it there. And that's it. We have an article posted on Medium. So we're going to go through this throughout the month with you guys to make sure that everybody gets it. But I wanted to make sure that you guys get a taste of what I've been talking about and have a practical explanation. Kindly remove that before posting. I was posting anything, and this is not my main account, so anything that goes at this point, anything goes, right? So because we've really spent our time and I've done answering questions, I've asked and answered them, I've done everything with you guys. Our first content, I like how you put it, our first content, publish football post government, weird indeed. It's weird, and I don't mind because, like I said, that's not my real account. Can you unpost? You can unpost. You can just come here and delete it. You can edit it, but I'm not going to because whoever reads it has. We can even come back maybe in our next class when we're having our next class, and you see somebody has read it and they'll leave a comment and they'll be like, "What is this weird thing this fellow is writing?" But you can unpost it, but there's no real point. Like I said, there's no stress about it. So we're talking about you guys' project, and I'd like to now make mention that you guys are going to write articles. We're going to go through this process with you. Our classes now are on Mondays and Thursdays because we want you guys to start working on your projects by yourself, posting on Medium, posting on every platform. Medium and WordPress are the two platforms we are going to launch your projects on so you can build your portfolio. On Thursday, Mr. Seb is going to be back and he's going to take you guys on WordPress. So you guys should enjoy that. Our time is absolutely fast spent. We've even spent way more than I expected to do today, but I wanted to make sure that everybody understood what was going on. To post on your phone, you can. It's almost as simple. It just depends on how well you know how to use your phone. Yes, no more classes on Tuesday, we're just having 2 classes a week for the rest of our time together. Because now it's time for you guys to take personal time and get to work. Start thinking of what articles you want to write. Start thinking of what projects you're going to talk about. Start thinking of your niche. Make sure that everything is holistically done, right? So, with that, I will bid you guys adieu. I'm going to see you guys next week. But for this moment, I just want to appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking with me. I know this class kind of started off weird, but we're here and we're almost done. You guys are the ones that should really be clapping for yourselves because you guys have gone through this whole process and you're almost at the end. You can see the end in sight. Make it to the end. The most important thing is making it to the end so that all of this information that you get comes into you, right? All right. So, like I said, thank you very much, guys. Eli, good luck on your exams tomorrow. Your exam plenty, shall. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you've had a lot of exams since we've been here for like 2 weeks. But good luck. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. We are back on Thursday, and like I said, it is Mr. Seb that is going to be back. So, again, bye bye. Good night. Enjoy yourselves, guys. I need to go and lie down. So we can call it a day here. All right. Bye bye.